With the 11th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Fashanu, tackle, Penn State.
So they go in the direction of protecting Aaron Rodgers rather than handing him another weapon to throw to.
Yeah, they went out and got Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses. Those guys are both 33 years old. This is the left tackle of the future. Be interested to see if he gets on the field right away, but he is a pure left tackle. If he would have came out in last year's draft, he would have been a top 5 pick. He was coming off a monster year as a very young player, decided to go back to Penn State. You see the anchor and the power, a pure pass protector. You want to try and hit him with a counter move, he can redirect and put the clamps on you. That is his calling card. In the run game, you want to see him be a little more consistent. It was more seal and wall off than really power guys and finish guys, but there was improvement in that area in 23 compared to 22.
And remember, they picked up Tyron Smith. Always has injury issues. You get this kid for the future, and the future may be 2024.
It's Fashanu week in New York.
Third offensive lineman off the board, following Joe Alt and J.C. Latham, and here he goes to the New York Jets. And look, you can't argue the need, Lance.
No, the need is there, and now the question becomes, do they play him right away at maybe a guard spot? But I don't really see it. I mean, you got Vera Tucker, you got John Simpson you brought over. This feels like you let him compete maybe against Morgan Moses on the right side, but probably most importantly, you let him learn from Tyron Smith over there. And I kind of like that. I like the fact that he gets to mentor with a guy like Tyron Smith on the left side, provided Tyron's going to provide that leadership, because I don't think Fashanu is ready just yet. I think there's still some. I think there's still
I love that audio. That's awesome.
There's still some holes in his game, but man, from a trait standpoint and an athleticism standpoint, there's a lot to like about Fashanu here.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, like super long, athletic. He has all the traits that you look for in a prototypical left tackle. Hasn't put it all together, but man, the upside is tremendous. And the New York Jets offer a unique situation where they don't need him to start right away. He can sit and learn behind some established vets who've had a lot of success in this league. Nice way to enter him into the league.
21 years old. If he'd come out last year, he might have been the first tackle off the board. We had that conversation. He decides to go back to Penn State, and now he is still the 11th overall pick in the third offensive lineman off the board in the 2024 NFL Draft. So the Denver Broncos are now up next.
Yes, sir. Detroit, we in the building. Born and raised in Detroit, so it's glad to see my city doing so good. Also, shout out to University of Michigan, go blue. Now it's time to get on the board. Go blue, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. Jets. The Carolina Panthers have traded the 65th pick to the New York Jets. With the 65th pick in the 2024 draft, the New York Jets select Malachi Corley, wide receiver out of Western Kentucky. Let's go, Jets.
He's top 50 player. He's compact. There's a lot of quick hitters, and that's not my opinion with the Yak King. That is his actual Twitter bio. He references himself as the Yak King, and he is exceptional after the catch. You want production? Listen to this numbers. Over the last 2 years, he only trails Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors, and Marvin Harrison Jr. in terms of receiving yards. That's good company to keep. And here he is after the catch. He does not want to go on the ground. He's like I would say a sawed-off Deebo Samuel. He's a smaller, more compact version, but his strength on contact when guys try and tackle him is pretty ridiculous, CD.
It certainly is, and he catches a lot of his passes underneath.
5.5 average depth of target.
And so then takes it long. Throw short, go long. Joel, one of the things I liked about him, he reminded me of Golden Tate. Yes, he's a sawed-off Deebo Samuel in physique and stature, but in playing style, Golden Tate every year, yards after the catch, near the top of the leaderboard.
Here's what Aaron Rodgers is reacting to is the creativeness that you can have now from a play design perspective, because he can stretch the field by holding defenders at the line of scrimmage because of what you can do in the screen game, throwing it to him in those advantage throws, meaning, hey, the ratios are there. You don't have to run the ball. You can just flip it out into the slot, and he can get that yak you were talking about.
Think about Randall Cobb in his prime, how Aaron Rodgers used him. This is a carbon copy.
I'm thrilled to announce that with the 134th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Braelon Allen, running back, Wisconsin.
This was the next best running back available on the board. The way I looked at it, big time size, very nimble. Again, we've used this phrase a few times today. Are you one who delivers contact? Do you absorb contact? He runs a little bit upright, but he's very strong and powerful CD. So when guys hit him, they just kind of bounce off of him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Time for a player comparison presented by Homes.com. We've done your homework. And my comp for Braelon Allen is a big runner in Green Bay, came out of Boston College. You talk about somebody who can rumble. A.J. Dillon.
All right.
And, you're talking about the absorbing contact. The one criticism I've heard about Braelon Allen is some scouts and people want him to run to his size even more. You see the nimbleness there.
He's a little
That's
upright.
Great. They'd like to see him get lower and just run people over because not many people want to take on a guy his size anyway. But A.J. Dillon, he has no problem with doing that and adding the nimbleness as well. So I see the comp very, very well. Wisconsin, Green Bay guy, even though Dillon came out of Boston College.
Okay, already they're good.
There you go. Ready to get into the weight room and get after it.
Look at the comp.
That means we'll be hearing from Saquad soon, won't we?
Yeah,
Won't Saquad want to get in on this?
Yeah, he'll want to get in. Interesting with the Jets. I mean, Allen was awesome 2 years ago. That was his big breakout season. But you have Breece Hall, and they love Izzy Abanikanda, who they took last year out of Pitt, the Brooklyn kid. So this is now a third running back into the room. Remember, they traded Michael Carter during the season.
Yeah, but when you look at that tree,
different types.
When you look at the Shanahan-McVay tree, they have a stable of backs. Right. All those teams in that tree, they want to keep guys fresh and keep rolling.
Different types of running backs, too.
True.
Different body types, different styles, and they plug them in and play them.
With the 171st pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Jordan Travis, quarterback, Florida State.
Jordan Travis, the selection. I don't know how Aaron Rodgers might be feeling about this, but here's the point.
I do.
This guy can absolutely sling it.
Yeah, he can definitely sling it, and he's also pretty safe. He takes care of it as well. You asked me during the break a really good question about how Spencer Rattler compares to Jordan Travis. Jordan Travis is the girl that you marry. Spencer Rattler is the girl that you date. There's just a lot of upside, more hots and colds, that relationship before you find the one that you're going to marry. To me, that's my analogy for it.
I like that. I don't know where to go with it, but I know exactly what you're referring to. ACC Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year in that conference. Obviously some issues when he goes down. We were talking about his draft stock even a year ago.
With the 173rd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Isaiah Davis, running back, South Dakota.
Yeah, Jackrabbit in the house, who also led FCS play in rushing yards, over 1,500 of them and 18 rushing touchdowns. I'll take that type of production.
Yeah, I've got a grade on him that was borderline fourth round. I think Isaiah Davis, you see that he's got some nasty to him. He can score. He's not the fastest running back. He's a 4.57 40. You see right here, he doesn't look like a pull-away runner, and he's not. So what he's got to be is a consistent runner between the tackles. He's got to have good vision, and it just so happens that he has some of those elements to his game. I thought when I first watched him, he had some Jordan Howard elements. You remember him? Chicago Bear, came from Indiana. He was a second-round pick. Watching him run, he reminded me a little bit of Jordan Howard, and I made the comp. He's very heavy pads to break tackles, so he's physical in that area. If you want to look at the size, he's 6'2", 218. That's prototypical for a bell cow running back. So good sixth-round selection. They're also stacking up on running backs. If I remember correctly, this is now the second running back they drafted today, right?
Yes, I can pull it up. I know it is the 12th today and the 16th overall, and I'm just sort of thinking out loud here because Dallas is on the clock. And the Cowboys, there was a lot of speculation that they could be looking.
Well, actually, I'm going to play running back for them. Okay. Newsflash. But the Jets are following a really good analytic sort of style playbook, meaning you should take a couple at the same position, especially in running backs a little bit later. And I would say you should probably always draft a quarterback as well. So they're following a pretty good strategy playbook.
Who's the other running back they drafted?
Braelon Allen in the fourth round. So earlier today, the kid out of Wisconsin, then Travis, now Davis.
So they got they're just saying we're going to have a competitive room.
Yes.
Roll it out and let's see how it all plays out.
With this 176th pick in the 2024 draft, the New York Jets select Qwan'tez Stinger, defensive back.
So, Qwan'tez Stiggers, boy, this is a fun story here, an interesting story. Mike, I'll let you tell some of the background if you want. I get the feeling, looking at your face, I think you know some.
Well, I'm just smiling because I was ready to cheer Mason before he said he was from Detroit, and that's when the fans got behind it. But you mentioned background. The one thing that's sort of standing out, Canadian Football League's most outstanding rookie this past season. So a little bit of a dude who's got some pro experience.
So he went to Lane College. He enrolled there, and his dad passed away, and he left, passed away after a severe car accident that he passed away from. He left. He was despondent, didn't play any football in 2021. In 2022, he was in the controlled football league. You remember where the fans decided they were going to pick what plays you ran? Yeah. He was in that one. He was the youngest player. Then he played in the Canadian Football League. So, I mean, this guy has been in every type of football you can imagine. But when I turned the tape on, well, the first thing that made him stand out was in the East-West Shrine game. He had really good East-West practices. He tackled well. He's physical. He's tough. I think he's going to slide over to the safety role in the NFL, but his Toronto tape was really good. He's going to be a make-it player here as the last pick of the 5th round.
Thank you, Detroit. Thank you to all of the Detroit fans. You've been fantastic, but no fans in Detroit are irrelevant. You guys are all relevant, so yeah. Thank you to Lucretia, Uncle Roland, Aunt Glo. All fans can root for the underdog. So with the final, but maybe not irrelevant pick, with the 257th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Jaylen Key, a defensive back from Alabama. Good luck, Mr. Irrelevant. Let's close Jets.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide came over from UAB and said, all right, I've been at one college here in Alabama, and let me go see if I can play at the other college. And Jaylen Key at safety went in there and did a nice job. He did a nice job on tape. Thought he was going to be a late round pick, 6th, 7th round. He had that ability. So right here, this is just about taking a player that you think can play on special teams if he's a safety and has the right kind of makeup for your team, the right type of mentality. That's what that is.